Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book, whoa. He has a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional shit.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. Jace and Dedeker, how are we doing today?
I'm great because this is the end of Genesis, y'all.
I know.
I never thought this day would come.
Me neither.
It's our second book of the Bible that we'll have completed. I feel so accomplished. As long as I don't check how many more books we have, I feel really accomplished.
There's a lot, apparently.
Yeah. What a journey it's been. I really love getting to see this contrast of, this book, the book of Job that was so much earlier for us, that was so philosophical and relatively slow, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in bad ways. And then now with Genesis, where it is just like boom, 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 full generations happening and families getting wiped out and people wrestling with God and
yeah.
It's like really so action packed.
It's funny, actually. I feel like in the pace of Genesis, this past few episodes where we've been with Joseph has been relatively slow paced, even though we have gone through like 20 years over the last few episodes.
That is true.
Yeah, no, it has absolutely been a journey, and we've learned so much, and I'm really excited to move on from it.
Yeah, well, Exodus is going to be an exciting time because
I'm here.
So many of the movies about the Bible, at least Old Testament movies about the Bible, non-Jesus movies about the Bible, are almost all from Exodus. Let's put it that way.
A lot of them.
There you go.
So, yeah.
So, does anyone remember what happened last time? I'm trying to remember.
Well, it was, okay, so we're wrapping up on the tail end of Joseph, right?
Yes.
So, last time must have been when he finally kind of came out, figuratively, to...
Came out as a boy,
as a brother.
A real live boy.
Yeah, he came out as a real live brother to his brothers, and then... And he sat with them, and Benjamin got a bunch more food than anyone else, and no one knew why. And then I think the brothers were able to come. Oh yeah, he planted the cup in Benjamin's mouth of his sack, and then they came back to Dad and were like, "Oh my God, Dad, you'll never believe it's Joseph." And then Dad's like, "What? Amazing!" and packed up all his stuff, and they're moving to Egypt now.
I think you kind of mixed up some parts of that story there.
Definitely did, but
it
all happened in that order.
And we learned that the Egyptians wouldn't want to eat at the same table as them.
Yeah, right.
And they came to town, and Joseph was saying, like, tell them that you are shepherds of cows because being shepherds is detestable to them, which we think maybe means that like it's work they don't want to do, and so if you're gonna do it,
then it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, they'll give you cattle to take care of for them.
Something like that.
And then what? They can take the cattle?
Maybe, or that we'd be less threatening to them because
I just liked that you said shepherds of cows.
Yeah, those things that exist.
Well, as opposed to like sheep shepherds.
Yeah, wouldn't that be like a cattle herder, a cow herder?
A rancher? I don't know.
A what?
A ranch hand.
A cowboy. A cowboy.
There you go.
They're all little cowboys. Yeah,
they're all
that's
cowboys.
how it is. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
All right.
And we finished the story of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. We watched the end of it.
You mean we finished the musical?
Yes, that's what I mean. We finished the musical with our bonus content 2 times ago, or last time.
Yes.
Last time?
No, 2 times ago. 2 episodes ago was when we finished that.
Oh, really? My goodness.
Yeah. Gosh, it even runs together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, related to that, what is it that we're reading today?
Today we are reading Genesis 48, 49, and 50 In other words, the last 3 chapters of Genesis.
Wow.
I like how they end on 50. It's like, here we are. This is a good,
Nice.
like, even number.
Yeah,
It's 50.
It's nice and round. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Feels satisfying.
It does. It feels final. So, what are we drinking today?
Well, I'm going to tell you not about what I'm drinking because it's honestly not that interesting. I just ran and got some beer at the grocery store. But what I would like to be drinking is what's on the shirt that I'm wearing, which is Beer Lao. I don't know what it is about it, but Beer Lao, Dedeker and I spent a month in Laos, and I got so addicted to Beer Lao. I don't know what there is about it. It seems like a boring kind of, like a lager, just kind of a boring lager, but there's something about it that's just so good.
I think it's something about like being in the tropical humidity of Laos that makes the Beer Lao just even more satisfying. True. Yeah.
I've not had a Beer Lao outside of Laos, so maybe I wouldn't like it anywhere else.
It's true. Maybe it'd be trash if you just had it like at a bar in LA and you'd be like, what the hell is this? It is a critically like world acclaimed award-winning beer though.
There you go.
They've won like that German Purity Prize for beer and like it is a very like well-received beer in the world of beer. It's a
well-received beer. Yeah.
What about you guys? What are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking a Bloody Mary again. My partner Alex made homemade some chili-infused vodka that he used in this Bloody Mary that he made for me this morning, and it is real intense, let me tell you. Like, didn't need to add any Tabasco or any horseradish or anything to this Bloody Mary. Like, it's got plenty of kick.
Wow.
That's
quite
exciting.
Tasty. Yeah.
So your mouth will be on
really
fire
good
by
right
the
now.
end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And I am having my favorite beer ever, which is Saint Bernardus, which is a Belgian beer. Real boozy. It is 10%.
Jeez.
So say goodbye to Emily now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it your favorite because it's so boozy or other reasons?
I don't know. I think it's one of the first beers that I recall having where I was like, oh my goodness, what a beer. What a drink. It just is really complex and it goes through a bunch of incredible flavors. It's one of the highest rated beers in the world. So
it is a really
lives
good one.
up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it lives up to its status. It's quite nice, but I'm enjoying it very much right now.
Nice.
All right, well, we all have our drinks ready. I hope you all do at home. I want you to let you know that regardless of what time of day it is, you are perfectly fine to drink along with us because for Dedeker right now, it's what time?
It's 10 in the morning. That's why it's Bloody Mary.
There you go.
And for myself and Emily, it's 7 p.m. right now. So really, whatever time it is for you, it's Drunk Bible o'clock somewhere.
Heck yes.
And with that, we do want to remind you to both read responsibly and drink responsibly.
And you can drink along with us, again, whatever time it is, or you can listen along with us in the car.
But please don't do both at the same time. And with that, Jace, I think it's your turn.
All right, here we go with Genesis 48. It happened after these things that one said to Joseph, "Behold, your father is sick."
Wait, just one boy?
One random stranger.
A person.
One.
Yeah.
This guy named One.
That one said to Joseph, "Behold, your father is sick." He took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. One told Jacob and said, "Behold, your son Joseph comes to you." And Israel strengthened himself and sat on the bed.
Same sentence. They switch his name. Same sentence.
That's true.
Oh, wait, no. Yes, they did. Jacob and then Israel.
Yes.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, seriously. I wonder if this is the same one. You know?
The same one person who's just running around telling people things?
Oh,
one
there
said
it is.
to Joseph.
One told Jacob.
Yeah.
Maybe his name is One.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe you're not pronouncing it. Maybe it's like One.
One. Yeah,
no,
they just
because
forgot to
actually,
capitalize the first one.
Yeah, exactly. It's not capitalized.
All right.
Okay.
Jacob said to Joseph, "God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me, and said to me, Behold, I will make you fruitful and multiply you, and I will make of you a company of peoples, and will give this land to your seed, after you for an everlasting possession. Which
We know.
yeah,
We've
heard this many times.
Thank you.
But I guess we're coming up to the end of the book, so we got to be really clear. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
recap here.
this is the important message of this book, I think. Now, your 2 sons, who were born to you in the land of Egypt, before I came to you into Egypt, are mine. Ephraim
Jeez.
and Manasseh, even as Reuben and Simeon will be mine. Okay, so he's saying, I think this is actually a nice message. He's saying, like, these are also my descendants.
Even though you had them with a filthy Egyptian wife,
Right.
Whoa.
I'm sure is the subtext.
That's what I'm assuming, but
Got it.
I could be reading too much into it.
Okay.
Your issue.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh.
I hate when they refer to someone's children as their issue.
Yeah.
Like, it makes
Huh,
it sound
is
like
that- Oh.
some kind of like fluid, like, or like
Yeah.
some kind of
Oh,
like
oh, I
discharge.
see.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like some sort of weird discharge to me
Yeah.
when they call children your issue. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, they issue forth from
Ugh.
No, but it's just like you issued this person.
I know. I don't like it.
Okay. All right. Ew.
Your issue, who you become the father of after them, will be yours. They will be called after the name of their brothers in their inheritance. Okay. As for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way.
That sounds like he killed her.
He died by my
She
hand.
died by
Oh,
me.
Yeah. But, I mean, we know she didn't. She died in childbirth with Benjamin.
Benjo.
Benjo.
Benny boy.
Little
Yep.
Benji.
Okay, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when there was still some distance to come to Ephrath, and I buried her there in the way to Ephrath. The same is Bethlehem. Oh,
Huh.
really?
Really?
The same Bethlehem?
I
Or a
thought they already
different
explained
Bethlehem?
that to us once before.
Well,
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
we didn't pay
Maybe?
attention. It's interesting that. Wait, okay, so it was. I buried her way in the way to Ephrath. So do you guys have any friends who are from the East Coast who say like I wait online instead of waiting in line?
Is that an East Coast thing?
No, I've never heard that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an East Coast thing. Because my friends in
Really?
college who are from the East Coast would say that, like especially from Long Island and stuff like that, would be like, I'm going to wait online for this, taco stand.
You're like, wait, on AOL online?
Right. That's that.
AOL
exactly.
Instant Messenger?
But I feel like this is now the other way around, where I feel
Yeah.
like it should be on the way to somewhere, but instead it's in the way.
Freaking prepositions, man.
They are confusing. Israel saw Joseph's sons and said, "Who are these?"
It's like these kids I was just talking about. Who the heck are these?
What?
Uh,
Joseph said to his father, "They are my sons, whom God has given me here." He said, "Please bring them to me, and I will bless them." Right, okay, Israel said that. "Please bring them to me, and I will bless them. Spare no expense." Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he couldn't see. We've been here before. This has happened before. He brought them near to him, and he kissed them and embraced them. Israel said to Joseph, "I didn't think I would see your face, and behold, God has let me see your seed also."
Oh, Jacob.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Jacob, do you have to use that word in this instance?
He's full of
It's like
euphemisms
between
today.
seed and issue. I'm just like,
Issue,
could we
yeah.
just not? Can we just talk about them like they're people, please?
No, apparently not.
Joseph brought them out from between his knees.
Okay, wait.
Wait,
What?
excuse me?
His seed, from between his knees.
Gosh,
Wait,
no.
wait.
Okay, all right.
Because surely his two children were not like sitting between his knees.
Well, okay, so that implies to
Is
me
that what
were
they're
they
implying?
still teeny tiny children? Were they like toddlers?
I think they would be. This is during.
They're like 20-year-old kids, like coming
I think they're-
out from between.
Can we
their
see a different
knees.
translation for that?
I would
verse?
guess they're around 10, but let me see if I can find another translation here. This is going to take me just a second to look this up.
Okay.
Still though, 10? I don't know.
For both of you to be crammed between your father's knees?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
What's it
Let's
say?
see here. All right, so other translations here. Let's see. A lot of them say brought them out from between his legs.
Well, that's
That's
maybe
not
even worse.
No, brought them
That's
out
not
from between
better.
his knees. Oh. The Good News translation says, "Then Joseph took them from Jacob's lap and bowed down before him."
Oh, so he was like, give me my kids back.
Right, because so I guess so by his again the willy-nilly use of his for everybody, he for everyone.
What's the message say?
Well, other ones though just keep saying his. All right, let's see the message. Joseph took them from Israel's knees and bowed respectfully. So maybe by between his knees, it's, yeah, like they're sitting, kind of on his lap or something.
Yeah. Maybe they are young enough that he was like, yeah, here, sit on Grandpa's lap. There you go.
Well, I think they would be because Joseph, started working for Pharaoh and got his wife 14 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Because there was 7 years of bumper crops are on their way, and then 7 years of famine. And this is during the famine. So less than 14 years has passed since he got his wife.
So maybe they're young enough to be sitting on Grandpa's lap.
Okay.
And we have learned that, at least with other people in the story, they will often wait a few years before having kids.
I don't know if it's waiting, but it seems like there's some kind of, God closing some wombs. Maybe some fertility issues. Clearly there's no seed being spilled, so we don't need to worry about that.
Right.
Except for the seed that they talked about up there.
Well, but it's not being spilled.
Well, yeah.
That's true. That's just these boys.
These are living seeds. Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. So he brought them out from between Jacob's knees and bowed himself with his face to the earth. Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand.
What freaking acro yoga thing is happening right here? I'm so confused.
I think they're just standing in a circle.
Okay, I see. Why does this matter?
Well, I don't. It's like a ritual or something. I don't know.
Okay.
And brought them near to him. So, so his right hand and the other guy's left hand. Yeah, we're all kind of in a circle now. I think all holding hands.
Well, keep going. It gets more complicated.
Okay. All right. Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, guiding his hands knowingly. For Manasseh was the first.
Okay, hang on. So Joseph brought Ephraim toward Israel's left hand, and then Manasseh toward his right hand, but then Israel did a crossums where he crossed his hands and touched the opposite. I'm like, what is happening here?
Right. Okay. Yes, he crossed his hands to the other kids.
They're like doing a hand jive here. Is that what the blessing ritual is? Is the hand jive?
Let's do the time. That's just like what's happening.
And then
it's
they
like a step to the right.
Take a step to the left.
And the pelvic thrust.
Yeah. All right. That would be amazing if that were happening right now.
Okay, so he's doing the hand drive and also the time warp at the same time, yes. He blessed Joseph and said, "The God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God who has fed me all my life long to this day, the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac. Let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth."
So it's just basically like, what? Just like let them have all the babies?
Yes, but I think
prophecy.
This is more like an official documentation of like Israel/Jacob was okay with adopting these possibly half Egyptian kids into his family line because they're Joseph's sons. So this seems
for
like
the listeners. Sorry, for the listeners at home, I want them to know that while Dedeker's explaining this, she has her arms crossways.
I'm trying to understand what's going on, and so I need to put my body into the same position to know what's going on.
Okay, good.
Good.
Well, okay, the plot thickens.
Oh.
When Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him.
Oh.
He held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. Joseph said to his father, "Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head." His father refused and said, "I know, my son, I know. He also will become a people, and he also will be great. However, his younger brother will be greater than he.
Whoa.
And his seed will become a multitude of nations."
This keeps happening again. Do we drink for this? Because this is repetition of constantly this theme
There's so much repetition
of the younger brother
becoming
becoming the more badass.
Yeah, you're right. This would be
Wasn't he the one that he was the younger brother
Mhm.
with Jacob and Esau?
right. Jacob was the
That's
younger
true.
brother. Joseph, also almost the youngest brother, but
Isaac,
definitely
well,
a younger
going
brother.
way back, Isaac was technically the younger brother because Ishmael was older than
That's
him.
true.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And now we're saying it's going to happen with Joseph's kids as well. That's
So, like,
an interesting
forget
theme.
firstborns.
Seriously.
Doesn't matter.
Wow.
Second, third, fifthborns are much more important.
Those fifthborns.
That is really interesting, though. That seems to be a significant message for people at the time. Maybe,
Yeah, definitely.
Especially because birthright was so important in these tribes, as we've seen.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Okay, so he's going to do okay, but the younger brother's going to do better.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He blessed them that day, saying, "In you will Israel bless," saying, there's like quotes inside of quotes. It's inception of blessings. Wait, okay. He blessed them that day, saying, "In you will Israel bless," saying, "God made you as Ephraim and as Manasseh."
No, God make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh.
Yes, thank you. God make
What
you.
does that mean?
Might be having to do with the meanings of their names, which I forget from before, but usually have to do with blessings of God and stuff like that. He set Ephraim before Manasseh.
Meaning like
Like in front of him, maybe. This is a
I
bad.
assume-
put him down.
This is a bad and embarrassing day for Manasseh. I think.
Yeah, I hope he's
Where he's like,
still young enough that
Yeah.
this doesn't haunt him forever.
I don't know. I think that's even worse when you're a child, though, because it's like you take
That's
that stuff
true.
super seriously, and so it's like if Grandpa's
Mhm.
like, "You're gonna do okay," but your little brother, he's gonna do way better than you, and like Grandpa's saying that like in front of everyone and ritualizing it, it's just like, oh man,
Yeah.
It's like,
like,
really,
I'm
dude?
not, I don't know. I just
Really?
imagine a lot of brotherly fights after this moment,
Oh,
like
for
a
sure.
lot of
Well,
wrestling and holding down and threatening to spit
Thigh
loogies
touching.
upon and maybe some thigh touching. I don't know.
Maybe even throwing into a well and selling to.
Oh yeah, that's how it all starts.
so basically, history is repeating itself.
seriously,
That's what
Pretty
we're talking
much.
about.
these generational curses, as it were.
Yeah. Israel said to Joseph, "Behold, I am dying, but God will be with you and bring you again to the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to you one portion above your brothers, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow." What?
Who did he kill to do that?
Some Amorites, clearly.
Whoa.
Yeah, I
Dang.
don't remember this happening. I've given you one portion above your brothers.
So like more inheritance? But it
Yeah.
also happened to be something that I murdered some men over?
I don't know if this is literal or if this is more metaphorical, like
It's very difficult to tell in the Bible.
Yeah,
Seriously.
that's true.
I'm kind of curious to look up that last verse in some other translations
Well, I
here.
did a quick Google of the Amorites, and they do come up many more times particularly throughout the Torah and the Old Testament.
Okay.
So it seems like the Amorites are, they're a competing tribe, a warring tribe.
Oh, okay. This is interesting, though. So I'm looking up the Good News translation. It says, "It is to you and not to your brothers that I am giving Shechem, that fertile region which I took from the Amorites with
Oh.
my sword and bow."
That's much more specific.
Yeah. Or this one's good. The God's Word translation. "I'm giving you one more mountain ridge than your brothers."
How specific is that? Oh my goodness.
One
Good.
more ridge of a
Wow.
mountain.
Just one more. That's yours. We'll carve your name on it.
Another one. "I have given to you one slope of land rather than your brothers."
Oh, slope's less impressive.
Yeah, that's true. And the ridge of land. Yeah, more ridge of land. Let's see. Yeah, New International Version is ridge of land. All right, let's find the message here. Oh, did I already pass the message? I did. Just blew right by it. The message. "As for me, I'm presenting you as the first among your brothers, the ridge of land I took from the Amorites with my sword and bow."
Whoa.
Interesting. So there's only a couple that actually give the place a name.
Yeah, that is interesting that with other ones they chose to just kind of breeze past that.
Yeah. Translation, people. If you had any doubts that translation really changes things, I think that should
It
clinch
definitely
it for you.
does.
Stop doubting it. Stop doubting it and get on
Yeah.
the train. All right, well, that was the end of that chapter. Should we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
All right, Genesis 49. Jacob called to his sons and said, "Gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which will happen to you in the days to come. Assemble yourselves and hear, you sons of Jacob. Listen to Israel, your father." He calls himself Jacob and then calls himself Israel.
I think we've just accepted it now. He's accepted it clearly, that he's like, I'm going to go by both names. Don't you worry.
Yeah. He's just like, I am both at the same time. Okay, Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength.
Well, that's nice.
The preeminence of dignity and the preeminence of power. Boiling over as water, you shall not have the preeminence, because you went up to your father's bed, then defiled it. What? Wait, what? What did he do?
When did we get this story?
Yeah, this is familiar. Wasn't
it?
Reuben the one who slept with one of his...
No, that was Judah. That was Judah who slept with the woman who was pretending to be a prostitute.
No. Earlier, there was something about one of the sons sleeping with one of his father's handmaids or something like that. Do you remember that? I don't remember if that was Reuben.
Well, maybe.
Yes, Reuben lay with his father's concubine. That's what it was.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this? Okay.
So he's just... he's kind of calling him out like,
Yeah, he's like, okay, you shall not have the preeminence because you went up to your father's bed, then defiled it. He went up to my couch. What?
I think bed and couch must mean the same thing.
It must be bed. Here. You know how it is. Like in Shakespeare, they often use couch and bed interchangeably sometimes.
Okay.
Great.
Simeon and Levi are brothers. Weapons of violence are their swords. My soul, don't come into their council. My glories, don't be united to their assembly. For in their anger they killed a man. In their self-will they hamstrung an ox. Geez, he's like calling his boys out on everything.
Well, Simeon and Levi were the ones who got revenge for Dinah. And
that's what I thought.
Whole
so they didn't just kill a man. They killed an entire
it's like,
town.
Dad. Kind of underestimating a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. In their self-will, they hamstrung an ox. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce. Their wrath, for it was cruel. It will divide them in Jacob, scatter them in Israel.
Yeah.
Because I am two people at the same time. Judah, your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons will bow down before you. Judah is a lion's whelp.
Hang on. Why does Judah get all the props from Dad when he was the one who did this weird thing of like sleeping with his own son's wife when she was pretending to be a prostitute? Like,
Does Jacob Israel just not know about that?
Yeah, did Jacob just not find out about it or what?
Maybe.
It was never made clear that he would have known about that.
Yeah.
Like it never told us about his reaction to it like it did with the other things.
Hey y'all, we're going to take a quick break. I want to tell you about our Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy, not only can you become part of our super cool community, you can also help ensure that this show is going to keep going. And because, reading every single word of the Bible, it's a little bit difficult to sustain, honestly. There's some production costs involved. It's not quite as easy as just sitting around and cracking open the Bible, even though it may appear that way. So even for just $1 a month, it helps us to keep the show going, and you also get access to our community. If you go to $6 a month, you can become a parishioner of ours, and that gets you access to our weekly bonus episodes. Our bonus episodes are super fun. They're attached to every single regular weekly episode that comes out. Sometimes it's a more in-depth analysis or research that we've done. Sometimes it's interviews with experts answering all of our silly questions. Sometimes it's us watching biblical movies or biblical musicals together and giving our own colorful commentary on them. Super fun. For $6 a month, the parishioner level. Or for $12 a month on our Patreon, you can become a disciple. And so in addition to supporting the show, getting all the bonus content, you also get ad-free episodes. You don't have to listen to this ad break anymore, and you get the episodes 2 days early. So again, if you want to join our community, get access to all that cool stuff, go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy.
We are also working to reach a goal of getting 300 patrons. And when we reach this goal, this is going to allow us to actually budget out the time and the money involved in recording 2 Bible studies a week instead of just 1. And that means that you don't have to wait as long between drunk Bible studies. If you're anything like me, I know at the end of each one, even if it was a hard one to get through, I'm like, but I want the next one. I want to know what happens next. I want to, get more of this Bible knowledge. So if you can help us get to 300 patrons, whether that's you yourself becoming a patron or whether that's telling your friends, getting them on board. Once we hit 300, we can start releasing 2 Bible studies a week, which would be super exciting. And then you all have to wait less time for getting another episode. So it's win-win-win for everyone involved.
And finally, if you love this show, it would really, really help us out, in addition to all the ways above that it would help us out, if you could write a review for this show. So go to iTunes and write us a little review. Talk to us about all of the things that you love about the show, if you find it funny, if you find it informative, if, like my mom, you have never read the Bible before and you're learning like so many amazing new things, and it's like new information even as like a 60-something-year-old. We would love to hear about all of that, because definitely like me as a 30-something-year-old had no idea about all of this, and I am getting a crash course in the Bible.
Make sure when you leave us a review, you let us know your ASL, your age, sex, location.
Oh my gosh.
Make it feel like it's IRC in the mid 90s.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. Okay, we don't need to know all those things. Sorry, Mom. # sorry, Mom. No, just it's fun getting to talk to her about all of the things that we're learning every single week about the Bible. So, yeah, if you're getting something out of the show, we would love a review from you. Thank you so much. I'd figure that he would find out, though, but maybe he doesn't care. Yeah. Okay. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons will bow down before you. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion, as a lioness.
Couched.
Couched.
Couched. I wonder
What does
if
that mean,
was. I
couched?
wonder if that was intentional.
Or if that's just a typo.
Yeah.
Let
I
me
do
see.
appreciate that
I'll
he
look up.
incorporates, like, he embodies both the lion and the lioness
And
in
the lioness,
his energy.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so couched as a lion does appear in other translations, but most of them say crouch. And I wonder if either of those words originally meant a similar thing, or if it was a typo at one point that other translations kept,
Jeez.
because they just copied from each other.
What a game of
I don't know.
telephone.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Seriously.
right.
I can't even imagine.
Huh.
So he
Okay.
couched as a lion, as a lioness, who will rouse him up. The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh comes. Who's Shiloh?
Oh my God, there's so many quick Googling this episode.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
This is drunk Googling the Bible study. Let's see, until Shiloh.
Who is the mysterious Shiloh? Yeah.
Other translations just leave out Shiloh entirely.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I want to know who he
It
is.
says the Latin Vulgate translates the word as he that is to be sent, which would be the equivalent of the Hebrew shaloch, or messenger, indicating a possible corruption of the text on the either side, because it could possibly mean the one to whom it belongs or the thing stored up for him. So
That's not very helpful.
Well, like the Message Bible says he will keep a firm grip on the command staff until the ultimate ruler comes and the
Whoa.
nations obey him.
Whoa. Jeez.
Wow. Okay. Well,
So
maybe
kinda-
that's what it means.
Oh my gosh, I just figured it out. So you said that it had, Dedeker, you said it had to do with he who will be sent?
It's he who will be sent or a
Oh,
messenger.
is it Jebus?
I mean, I think some
sure
evangelicals
some-
would interpret it as Jebus, but I don't know if that's 100% accurate.
But I think that Shiloh is the one who knocks, if you get my drift.
Are you talking about Walter White?
It's Heisenberg, yeah.
So, this is
This is
some
the
crossover
Breaking Bad
fiction I was
Bible
not
crossover.
anticipating.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Shiloh is the one who knocks.
Okay, great.
So
I can
until
roll
he
with that.
comes, Judah is going to hold on to that staff.
Right.
Yep. It says, okay, the scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet until Shiloh comes. To him will the obedience of the peoples be. Binding his foal to the vine, his donkey's colt to the choice vine. He has washed his garments in wine,
Whoa.
his robes in the blood of grapes. Okay? His eyes will be red with wine, his teeth white with milk.
Well, okay.
Pretty sure that actually ends up the other way around.
Sounds like Voldemort.
Oh, it does sound like Voldemort a little bit.
His eyes will be red with wine, his teeth white with milk.
It just makes him sound like he's going to be drunk all the time.
Or maybe he's a vampire. Aren't there vampires in the Bible?
Well, we talked about this way back in Genesis,
boy.
where there was, the whole, mythology
Mark of
around
Cain
the Mark of
thing, yeah.
Cain, and Cain being the first
yeah.
vampire and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is very strange.
This metaphor is like really taken off here.
Yeah, he got a little carried away there, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
let's just.
it's funny. I mean, everything, even like Judah was the first person that he was like, you're a cool guy, except for some person's gonna be better than you, who's gonna look like Voldemort.
Wait, what?
Like, he's kind of undercut everyone to a degree.
Oh, I see. Right. All of this is about the one who knocks, about Shiloh.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, Judah, you're awesome, but not that awesome because this person is going to come and take your scepter away.
And be all covered in wine and milk and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. But his donkey's colt is going to have the choicest vine.
Yes, the choice.
What a lucky donkey colt.
Yep. Zebulun will dwell at the haven of the sea. He will be a haven for ships, or of ships. His border will be on Sidon.
So he'll be a ship boy or a sea boy.
So that's it.
Yeah,
like a
That's
harbor
it. That's all
boy.
that they say about Zebulun.
Zebulun's like,
Okay.
thanks, Dad. Okay, at least you're not like cursing me or
Yeah.
anything like
It's like,
that.
is that
I'll
it?
take it.
You sure?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Issachar is a strong donkey crouching down between the sheepfolds. What does that mean? The folds of sheep.
Yeah,
Sheep, where the sheep hang out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that thing that exists, a
No,
sheepfold.
The fold o' sheep. He saw a resting place, that it was good, the land, that it was pleasant. He bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant doing forced labor.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay. Did this already happen?
It seems to suggest that.
Okay.
Saw a resting
This
place
isn't a
and
prediction.
bowed
It
his
just happened already.
So he, okay.
Okay.
Interesting. I wonder if he's even there. That's fascinating. I mean, I'm assuming. Dan will judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan will be a serpent in the way, an adder in the path that bites the horse's heels so that his rider falls backwards.
Whoa. I mean, all
Wow.
this animal terminology is really interesting. It's like much more
Yeah.
poetic than has, happened leading up to this.
Yeah, I'm
I've-
also wondering if this is like if this is a bad thing to say about Dan, or more just like he's gonna be kind of a sneak thiefing around and taking out enemy soldiers or something by sneaking up behind him or something.
I don't think he's going to
Like,
be a sneak thief. It sounds to me like he's going to be a sneak judge, as it were.
I see, a sneak
Yeah.
judge.
Yeah,
Got
one of
it.
those. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. I have waited for your salvation, Yahweh. Gad, a troop will press on him, but he will press on their heel. Out of Asher, his bread will be fat. He will yield royal dainties.
Royal dainties. Like, I just, okay, what possibly could a royal dainty be? My guess is either doilies or cupcakes. What do y'all think?
Pedophores.
Pedophores. Yeah,
Oh.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Jace?
Oh, I mean, I just looked up some other translations, and Dedeker,
Oh,
you're
good.
not far off.
Oh my God. What
Really?
does it say?
The Common English Bible says, "And he will supply the king's delicacies."
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Little
yeah.
pastries and stuff. He will
Yeah.
provide food fit for a king is another one.
I say.
Yeah, so it is
Because
about
his bread will be fat
Yeah.
and well risen, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably well
and he will
risen.
yield royal.
the Message
Huh.
Bible says candies and sweets fit for a king.
Oh my goodness, candies.
Wow.
Okay,
That's
I think
adorable.
it's safe
So
to
he's
say
like the
there's
candy maker.
probably some pedophores in there.
Yeah. Yummy. Nephtali is a doe set free who bears beautiful fawns.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
it.
that's it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's like probably the most like beautiful and peaceful. Doesn't really predict.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
Joseph is a fruitful bough. Bough?
Bow.
Bough.
Bow.
Bough. Okay. It looks like buch. A fruitful bough by a spring. His branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, shot at him, and persecute him. But his bow abode in strength. The arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob. From there is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. What's the stone of Israel?
Probably
that's a
some,
new
I'm
term.
sure it's some oily stone that he set up in the desert.
Definitely.
Oh, see, I thought this was more like, he's Jacob the Stone Israel, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Okay, I
To
like
bring him
that.
back.
Dwayne The
Yeah,
Rock
definitely have to
Johnson.
bring him back into the podcast. This is where he belongs.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
As everyone knows, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a big fan of the show. So
When he listens.
Oh yeah.
when he finally listens in the future, I'm prophesying right now. Let's see. I'm looking up some other translations. Yeah, instead of the stone, Good News Translation says the protector of Israel, the rock of Israel, which that's even better.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So not a literal stone.
Jacob the rock, Israel. I love it.
I love that. That's awesome. Even by the God of your father who will help you, by the Almighty who will bless you, with blessings of heaven above, blessing of the deep that crouches beneath, blessings of the breast
Oh.
and of the womb.
Oh, I didn't know that those could be blessed, such body parts that typically belong to women. Amazing.
Well, apparently. The blessings of your father have prevailed above the blessings of the ancient mountains, than the bounty of the age-old hills. They will be on the head of Joseph, on the crown of the head of him who is separated from his brothers.
Okay, so all right, that sounds about right based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, like, everyone loves frickin' Joseph.
Go go go,
Yeah,
Joseph! You know what they say.
What do they say? I forget that song.
Go go go, Joseph! You'll make it someday. Shalala, Joseph, you're doing fine. You and your dream coat ahead of your time.
So yeah, so
Wow.
Jacob just like sang that to Joseph. He's like,
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
don't forget, please.
He's like, yeah. Joseph just sits there and he's like, okay, Dad, what are you going to tell me? It's going to be so good, right? And then, of course, it is.
Yep.
Ooh, look at this one. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf.
Oh,
In the morning, she will devour the prey. She? Okay.
A wolf.
At evening, he will divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father spoke to them and blessed them. He blessed everyone according to his blessing. I love it when they say that.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I do think it's really interesting how gender pronouns for almost all the brothers get switched around quite a bit
Oh,
in
that's
talking about the
true.
animals. Like that he's like the lion and the lioness, or he's like
Yeah.
a doe who has beautiful fawns, or
Yeah,
he-
that
like,
is interesting.
That is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I like that though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. He charged them and said to them, I am to be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the
here we
Hittite.
go. Here we go. A
Hittite.
Hittite and not a Hittite.
Hit. I'm pretty sure I said Hittite. But
You did do
yeah.
that once, I remember.
Hittite. You're right.
Hittite, yes.
Yes, that is absolutely ours. In the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought. Oh my gosh!
Yes.
With
Yeah.
the field from Ephron the
Freaking
Hittite for possession of a burying place.
4 generations later, and we're still hung up on this freaking cave.
Yeah,
But he
why do they
definitely
care so
bought-
much?
Definitely bought it. We
It
cannot.
must have been disputed, right? It must have been disputed.
I
Why
don't
would
know,
they feel
man.
the need to reiterate so many times, like, we bought this?
It's like the world's best cave.
I guess so.
like the finest cave I've ever seen.
Really, it must have, like, there must have been some kind of dispute about it, because otherwise they'd just be like, oh yeah, bury them in this cave that belongs to us or that we've had. But like specifically, they're like, no, Abraham bought this from this person for this purpose. I know it's like 200 years later, but we're still going to reiterate that
Right.
this is what
Yes,
happened.
And that he bought it with the field. Let's be clear too. It's not just the cave, but also the field
Also
around
the field.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
So he says, there they buried Abraham and Sarah, his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife, and there I buried Leah. The field and the cave that is therein, which was purchased from the children of Heth. When Jacob made an end of charging his sons, he gathered up his feet onto the bed and yielded up the spirit and was
Aw.
gathered to his people.
Wow, so he was
That's
like-
a nice way of putting that.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm out. Here I go.
Yeah. He's like, cool, got it?
Got it?
Given all my
out.
Yeah.
Got
I'm
it?
out.
Do not forget about that freaking cave, please.
So we
That
definitely
cave,
own
we
it.
own it.
That's the
You better
most
put me there.
important part. You cannot forget.
Because we own it.
Oh my
man.
goodness.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
Well,
Well,
before we move
we
on to
have-
the next chapter, we're having some fun, aren't we?
We are. This is a great finale.
Although, honestly, I can understand why this isn't in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah, I don't know how they make a song out of this one exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not put it past Andrew Lloyd Webber to make a
I
song out
wouldn't
of
pass
this.
anything past Andrew Lloyd
But
Webber.
which style would
yes.
it be in?
What's not in the show?
Oh my goodness,
I'm
no,
sure
I
it would
could-
be something highly
actually,
offensive.
I could totally see
Yeah.
this being a song because of like all the animal imagery. I could see that being
Oh.
played for laughs, or maybe some dancers running by in the background dressed like a little doe or like a little snicky snake or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Snicky snag.
But what a weird ending to a show, right? You have this big climactic like reunion, and then it's like, oh yeah, okay, now I'm gonna pass judgment on all of you and give
Yeah.
prophecies about all of you, and then die.
You guys suck.
Yeah, that would-
that's
that would be
kind
a
of
little
like what
odd.
he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh,
I feel like I can tell that reading this translation of the Bible is really messing with your sentence
It-
syntax.
yes,
like you
it
can't
has.
even.
oh, ditto.
It has. I mean,
Gosh.
the drinking first and foremost doesn't help, but then second of all,
Nope.
trying to switch between interpreting this weird English is
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for the
Well-
last chapter in Genesis,
Oh,
y'all?
wow.
It is your time.
It is my time. My time has
You
come.
got this.
Genesis 50. Joseph fell on his father's face. Sorry. I know that
He tripped and fell on his face.
I know, I
You
feel
didn't
bad.
even make
Jeez.
it one
I know.
clause.
This is supposed to be sad, but
Yeah.
just okay. We open up with Joseph falling on his father's face, wept on him, and kissed him. Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, and the physicians embalmed Israel. 40 days
Wow.
were fulfilled for him, for that is how many the days it takes to embalm. Is that true? 40 days? Good lord.
Not in today's standards.
No, but back then, 40. Like, is it?
Wow. Just,
That
40
just seems like an absurd amount of
That
time.
does seem like an absurd amount of time. Like, I don't. Okay, anyway. The Egyptians wept for him for 70 days. Long time.
Wow.
When the days of weeping for him were past, Joseph spoke to the house of Pharaoh, saying, "If now I have found favor in your eyes, please speak in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Behold, I am dying. Bury me in my grave, which I have dug for myself in the land of Canaan. Now, therefore, please let me go up and bury my father, and I will come again." Okay, so Joseph's asking for some bereavement time off to go
Right.
bury his
Yeah.
father.
Like, can
also,
I take some paid time off, please?
Yeah.
we just blew past this, but the Egyptians weeping for 70 days,
Yeah.
they don't even know this guy.
Well,
He
they,
just
showed
they
up.
know
What the
Joseph.
heck?
They know Joseph, and he's in a position of power, and they know that his dad just died, and Joseph's sad. So,
I see.
So they're
they're
like,
trying
"We
to make
better
a show.
cry."
Yeah.
I think
okay.
so. I think so.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Pharaoh said, "Go up and bury your father, just like he made you swear." Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, all the elders of the land of Egypt, all the house of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's house. Only their little ones, their flocks, and their herds they left in the land of Goshen. There went up with him both chariots and horsemen. It was a very great company.
It sounds like it.
I can only imagine. Okay. They came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, and there they lamented with a very great and sore lamentation. He mourned for
What's
his
a
father.
sore lamentation?
You know, sort of like really sad.
Yeah. Just like very, very bitter. Very, very sad.
Yeah.
He mourned for his father 7 days. When the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, "This is a grievous mourning by the Egyptians." Like, we can hear him from a mile away.
Yeah, she is
Yeah.
loud.
Therefore,
Shut it.
the name of it was Abel Mizraim, which is beyond the Jordan, which I assume means like really loud mourning. His sons did to him just as he commanded them, for his sons carried him into the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with the field for a possession of a burying
Wow.
place from Ephron
Wow.
the Hittite before Mamre. Oh my goodness.
I'm so okay. Who decided that they had to put that in there every single time this freaking cave was mentioned?
It's hotly contested. Like
I
we've got to be
guess.
what, like 5th, 6th, 7th mention by now that they've reiterated.
Oh, at least.
That this is the
Goodness,
case?
they
Goodness.
They said it like 5 times initially.
Okay.
That's true. We did cover it in depth the first time.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Okay. Joseph returned into Egypt, he and his brothers, and all that went up with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "It may be that Joseph will hate us and will fully pay us back for all of the evil which we did to him." Okay, so they're like, oh gosh, now that dad's out of the picture, Joseph might
maybe
turn
he
on
was-
us.
Now he's going to get mega revenge. Jeez.
Yeah, I understand being scared of that. If they're like, oh, if Joseph's just being nice because dad's around, it's quite possible.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, assuming he was just doing it for his father's sake. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I think that they should give him a little bit more credit.
Well, I think we know that Joseph's a good guy, but they don't really know fully that Joseph's a good guy. You know?
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah.
They sent a message to Joseph saying, "Your father commanded before he died, saying, so will you tell Joseph. Now please forgive the disobedience of your brothers and their sin because they did evil to you. Now please forgive the disobedience of the servants of the God of your father."
Lies. He didn't say no such thing.
Joseph wept when they spoke to him. His brothers also
Oh.
went and fell down before his face, and they said, "Behold, we are your servants." Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save many people alive." Well, okay, weird phrasing
Weird-
aside.
Yeah.
I guess that is kind of the whole moral of the story of Joseph, right? This idea that it's like, even though you tried to do something evil to me, God made it into this really good thing where I was able to
Yeah.
save a lot of people. I guess
Yeah.
that's the first time that it's ever been that angle of, it's not about God turned it into this good thing where I got a bunch of power, but like God made it so that I could then like, save a bunch of people from the plague, including you folios, let me remind you.
Yeah, it is interesting because, yeah, pretty much every other time where someone betrays you, it's like, well, we're going to kill them and everyone that they know and their whole village and everyone. So it is an interesting change with Joseph.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad that he's being kind here.
He is a
and,
good
and
boy.
seeing the light.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now therefore,
Annoying, but good.
Now, therefore, don't be afraid. I will nourish you and your little ones. Aw, Uncle Joseph.
Uncle Joey.
He comforted them and spoke kindly to them. Joseph lived in Egypt, he and his father's house. Joseph lived 110 years.
Dang, that's not very long.
Yeah, it's kind of
That's true.
starting to wind down. Joseph saw Ephraim's children to the 3rd generation. The children also of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were born on Joseph's knees. I'm not going to ask about the logistics of that,
God.
but we'll just
Oh.
call it a metaphor. Okay.
Okay, cool.
I don't like the idea of that at all.
Joseph said to his brothers, "I am dying, but God will surely visit you and bring you up out of this land to the land which he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob." Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, saying, "God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here." So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. Wow.
He didn't get that same burial
Yeah.
place that everyone else did?
No,
did.
you know what? I think he got like a super sweet, sarcophagus set up in Egypt because he was in a position of power.
All right. Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's what
but
I
that's just,
assumed.
it's interesting, though, that he wouldn't end up in that same place with all the rest of his family.
But I think,
Yeah.
I would assume he has a little bit more of an emotional connection to Egypt at this point.
I guess you're right.
That's where his family has been. That's where he's lived most of his life at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of his adult life, at least.
And I'm sure he's
For sure.
happy to be connected to his Hebrew roots. But also,
Mhm.
ultimately, I don't know, after dying, if he didn't give any clear instructions, I'm assuming the Egyptians would do what they want to do with him, which is like, well, we're going to honor this leader the way that we honor our leaders, which is not to bury them in a cave bought by Abraham, but to embalm them and put them in a fancy sarcophagus in a tomb full of awesome stuff. So,
Yeah, that's true.
wow.
Well, there it is. We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
That was amazing.
I mean, yeah, it kind of went some directions I didn't expect. It's amazing to think that we're here finishing Joseph's life. And in this same book, we had like crazy stuff like Lot and his daughters, or,
We didn't really hear about Lot dying. It was just like, that happened with Lot.
That's okay. I don't need to hear about him anymore.
No, me neither.
Let's stop paying attention to that guy. right? But like all of the stuff with Sodom and Gomorrah and all of the epic,
Isaac, the binding of Isaac, and
yeah, gosh, like so many things have happened in this book. And let's not forget, this book also included Noah and the creation and the Garden of Eden, and all of that was in this book. So,
so much.
Definitely a lot of history to pack into one book.
Yeah.
I wonder if this book covers the largest number of years of any book. I bet you it does.
Oh, yeah, that probably. I couldn't see how any other book would compete with that, really.
Well, there's so many well-known stories in this book, whereas I feel like in a lot of the books to come, there's not going to be. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right. There's going to be lesser known things.
Yeah, definitely more lesser known
books.
stories. And I feel like in the books to come, depending on the book, there's more of a sense of like, for instance, the Book of Ruth, it's just Ruth's story and that's it. Or the Book of Esther is just the story of Esther and that's it. Versus something like
there's a Book of Ruth and Esther?
Yeah, there are some ladies in the Bible. They make up about 1% of the Bible, but they do exist.
I'm amazed.
I think as women growing up in the church, you have a whole, less than 10 female figures to look to as role models, but that's okay. You take it where you can get it.
There you go.
Next time we're starting Exodus. So,
yes.
What are our predictions for next time?
People be exiting.
Good enough.
Yes,
I'll take it.
Yeah, that nailed it.
I can't even begin to wonder what else. All that I know is that there is a Red Sea and it's parted.
Well, okay.
And there's a big
talk
old
about that.
thing of commandments.
Yeah.
And it's stone.
Okay. We'll do a little preview at the beginning of next episode to kind of see what you know about the stories in Exodus.
Oh man. Okay. I only really know like one, I think. Anyways, let's continue next week with Exodus. Thank you so much for helping us get through Genesis. It's been a blast, and we can't wait to take you to infinity and beyond with Exodus.
Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including bonus episodes, new series, guest interviews, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Emily Matlack, Dedeker Winston, and me, Jace Lindgren. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for the Book of Genesis is Fanfare for Space by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book club. Whoa. He's got a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional shit. I thought about